From the Bay Area to the world, this is the podcast of positivity and professional wrestling. Here's your host on the coast, Ollie the Orator.
Hello and welcome to the Sharpshooter. Today my guest is Mr. Sean. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you, Ollie. How are you?
Good. Who are our top 5 favorite wrestlers?
Top 5 favorite wrestlers are Hulk Hogan, Stone Cold Steve Austin,
Okay.
Hijo del Fantasma,
Okay.
Kevin Nash, and me.
Good answer.
I was a wrestler for a little while. I did it for about 3 years. And I quit wrestling when I got into college. I was just having too much fun in college to go train and keep wrestling.
What are your top 2 favorite moves?
My top 2 favorite moves are just the regular punch to the face, and I like a drop kick.
From Hulk Hogan?
No, Hulkster does the leg drop, and my kids have been working on their leg drop. But I played a lot of basketball when I was growing up, and so I learned how to jump pretty high, and so I love doing the drop kick.
What was your wrestling name?
I was the White Trash Flash.
Wow. That's funny.
It is funny. But I loved wrestling. I had a lot of fun doing it. And when I was a kid, I loved wrestling so much. And I wanted to be a wrestler when I grew up. So I found a wrestling school in San Diego, and I trained and learned how to be a wrestler and did it. And that was cool. I got to live my dream.
Ollie, do you want to share with Mr. Sean who some of your favorite wrestlers are?
My top 5 favorite wrestlers are The Rock, John Cena, MVP,
Oh, he's great.
Jack Swagger, and X-Pac.
Cool. Those are good favorites right there. X-Pac is a really, really nice guy. So is MVP. Hey, you guys, please keep that low.
Ollie, do you know how Daddy met X-Pac?
At a match?
But through who? You know, who's the guy that introduced us?
Mr.
That's right, Mr. Sean.
So X-Pac and I have known each other for a while, and he wanted to come to one of the fights, one of your dad's events, and he came down, and he was really late because the cab driver took him to the wrong place and really far out of the way, so he didn't make it to the whole show. But another one of my wrestling friends came that day too, a guy named Conan, and Conan told me he wants to do your show sometime.
Oh, wow.
Cool.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Sean is a very big supporter of the show, and we're very grateful for that. Well, Ollie, people have heard about this alter ego, your ring character. You want to get into that character?
Heck yeah. What do you got, Ollie? Let me see.
All right, give us 1 second here.
Oh, yeah, nice mask. That looks like a really nice mask. You know, the guy who signed that mask for you, he lives here in my hometown. He lives in San Diego, and he writes 619 on there. That's our area code here in San Diego. And he comes to, he's a big fan of MMA too. I think he's been to one of your dad's fights too.
Yeah, he sure has. But who is this guy, Ollie? Whose mask is that?
Rey Mysterio.
Yeah, you remember that guy Conan that I mentioned to you earlier? He's the guy who brought Rey to the U.S. to wrestle. Rey was just working in Mexico, and Conan said, to the company called ECW, said, hey, the boss, Paul Heyman, who works with Brock Lesnar in WWE now, he said, hey, Paul, you need to bring this kid Ray in. And Paul looked at Ray. He's like, this guy's way, way, way too small to wrestle here in the U.S. And Conan said, no, you got to give him a chance. You have to let him see how good he is. And boy, oh boy, was he right. Ray's one of the best of all time.
Ollie, what do they call wrestlers in Mexico? Do you remember?
Lucha.
Yeah, that's right. Lucha means fight in Spanish, and libre means free. So it translates to free fight. And a Mexican wrestler is called a luchador. That's what how that translates.
Yeah, Mauro gave him a little Spanish lesson a few episodes ago.
Oh, cool.
Now, Ollie, so with the Rey Mysterio mask, you've kind of used it to become your own character. Who's your character?
Kid Chaos.
I love it. Me and my kids, we just watched that movie on the main event.
That's right.
Kid Chaos beats everybody.
It does, huh? You better not let Kid Chaos pick on Kennedy, though. Don't wrestle with Kennedy. She's too little yet.
That's right. Listen up.
Yeah. When my cousins were here, I beat them up.
Well, that's okay. If your cousins are, that's fine. But leave Kennedy alone for like 2 more years. Then you can pick on her.
Do you have a Rey Mysterio mask?
I do. I have a bunch of them, but I don't have a real nice one like you do. I've been trying to get some of the ones that he wears in matches, but he doesn't give them up very often. So I try to buy them from him, and he won't sell them.
Oh, it just goes to show how lucky you are, Ollie.
Uh-huh.
That's awesome. Did you get that from Roots of Fight?
Yeah.
Ray loves that company. They treat him really, really well, and they make some really cool merch.
Yeah, shout out to our friend Jesse, another good supporter of the show, who gave Ollie this mask and created Kid Chaos. Ollie, do you think Mr. Sean has other masks, or does he have an alter ego or another character? Do you think?
Do you have any more names?
No, that's it now. But I have so much fun watching matches with my kids. And I tell you what, maybe this year, I invited you and your dad to my kid's birthday party last year, but you guys weren't able to come. Maybe you can come this year. We actually have matches at our house. We get a real ring set up in our backyard, and we have real wrestlers that are on TV coming. We have a big match at the house.
Whoa!
Maybe you guys, we had guys from WWE last year too, so maybe you guys can come to San Diego and come you can go in the real wrestling ring and wrestle with the guys from TV.
Oh man, that'd be so awesome. Speaking of that, Ollie, you've been to one WWE event, right?
Yeah.
Where?
SmackDown.
That's right. Here in San Jose, right?
Yeah.
And you know who hooked us up? How we ended up getting those really great seats?
Mr. Sean.
That's right.
We sat with DC.
I know. I'm such a big fan of DC. He's such a good fighter, huh?
Yeah.
He's also your what?
I bet he could.
Coach at AKA.
Oh, really? He's your wrestling coach?
Mm-hmm.
You're so lucky to have a coach like that. My son's coach is a guy named Boogeyman, Richie Martinez.
Whoa, that's
and so I bet your coach could beat his coach.
Quite possibly. But Ollie, that first event we went to, that's what made you a big fan, huh?
Isn't it so much fun on being there in person with all the fans yelling and cheering, the wrestlers and everything?
I saw the Usos. They're one of my favorite tag teams.
Their dad's a good friend of mine. You know who their dad is? A guy named Rikishi. He's in the WWE Hall of Fame.
Ollie, you know Rikishi?
Yeah.
What match did we just watch? Who did he wrestle? We just watched it.
X-Paw.
That's right.
Oh, man. That's probably a fun match.
We just watched that match the other day. Sean, he came to one of our events too. His nephew fights for us.
Oh, that's right. I remember you telling me about that.
Yeah, so small community we got here. Hey, Sean, can you tell Ollie about, I've tried to explain to him what you do, what American Icon is, but I think, you have a really cool job and you do a lot of really cool stuff. Can you explain that?
I will, but first I want Ollie to tell me how Lego camp was today.
Fun.
Yeah?
Well, we get to bring Pokemon cards there.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What did you build today?
Today he gave me Alakazam, and I forgot who else he gave me. He also gave me a Mew and an Eevee for free.
What did you build though in Lego camp?
Legos.
What'd you build though?
Nothing. Like nothing.
Nothing?
Well, we had I did. Well, yesterday we had a car race, and I won against Kellen.
Maybe you could watch a YouTube video with your dad and see if you can figure out how to build a wrestling ring out of Legos.
Ooh, that should be our next project, huh?
I think that's pretty easy. You just make it like a little box, and then you just make like strings around.
Maybe you get some rubber bands to be the ropes.
Yeah, and then you what do you use for the ring post?
That's it. Well, we'll have to do our research.
Right? That's what you got to figure out.
I think we have a new weekend project, buddy.
Maybe just we tape a cardboard box, like half of it.
We'll see. We'll do our research. Let's make a really good one though.
And then, hey, Ollie, one more thing. Do you have a favorite jiu-jitsu move?
I don't know any jujitsu.
Yes, you do.
Sure.
Yeah, you like to choke people.
Good. I like that. Has your dad shown you videos of his fights when he was fighting?
I've seen a picture at least.
Picture? You haven't seen any video yet, though? Maybe video wasn't invented that long ago.
No one wanted to see that stuff. There's no demand for it. There was never a demand for it.
I'm telling you, Ollie, look at pictures of your dad from back then. Look how big his muscles were. He was super strong.
Those are all fake.
No?
They're all fake.
Are they really all fake?
No, he's just being modest. He's just not trying to brag.
In due time, you'll learn more about me, but.
Yep. So, Ollie, then I'm going to tell you about what I do. Okay? So, what I do for a living is I work with wrestlers and athletes and fighters and actors and that sort of thing. And we hire them for appearances and then the fans get to come and meet the wrestlers or athletes. And it's really cool because it's not very common for that to happen. So, like we could say, okay, Saturday the 20th, we have Rey Mysterio coming to this day at this time, and then you'll have 500 or 1,000 fans show up to meet Rey and take a picture with him and get his autograph and that sort of thing. You don't even need that because Rey already signed your mask, but sometime you could take a picture with him.
Whoa.
Yeah. So that's what I do all day, every day, is I work on these events to try to get the fans to meet their heroes and their favorite athletes and celebrities. And then we also sell the signatures on the internet.
Isn't that pretty cool, Ollie?
Yeah.
So helping fans get connected with their heroes.
Yeah.
And I even had your dad sign some pictures for me. Did you know your dad's famous enough to sign autographs for people?
No.
Yeah, it is. You don't know yet, but your dad's pretty cool.
Daddy paid Mr. Sean a lot of money to say that. Well, Ollie, do you have any questions for Mr. Sean? Any other questions? How about, hey, Sean, do you have can you give us a funny story? One of your most memorable funny stories. I know you have many.
There are so many.
Yeah.
A lot. everything that's coming to mind right now is not appropriate.
Yeah, I was thinking that too.
I don't understand.
Yeah, something that you would get, something for the kids, because Mr. Sean has many fun, crazy memories and stories. But we're trying to see if he can think of one for you. But maybe that could be for next time.
So okay, there's two actually. Okay, so you met X-Pac, right? Or he came on your show?
Yeah.
So X-Pac's a really good person. Okay, he's got a big heart and he cares a lot about his friends. And so one time, his two closest friends are a guy named Kevin Nash and Scott Hall. Okay, and I had booked Scott Hall and Kevin Nash to do an appearance with a bunch of other wrestlers. And everybody showed up except Scott Hall. He was going through some problems, and so he didn't make that trip. And a lot of the fans were very sad that they couldn't meet Scott. And so I called X-Pac a couple of days later and said, hey, man, do you think, you being such good friends with Scott Hall, do you think you could talk to him and see if we could, get him on the plane? He said, of course, but that's not really going to help right now. I'm going to have to go to his house and pick him up and bring him to the airport and everything. And I said, okay, well, whatever you can do, that'd be great, And so he went to Scott's house the night before, spent the night at Scott's house, got him up in the morning, got him in the car, onto the plane, flew with him to Los Angeles, and did the appearance with him. And X-Pac didn't ask me for a dime, and he did the signing for all the fans too. And I ended up paying X-Pac anyway, but he didn't ask for it. He didn't want it. He just did me a favor because he knew the fans were so excited to meet Scott that Sean took a whole weekend out of his life to get Scott on the plane to come make it up for me.
Wow. Isn't that crazy, Ollie? That's a lot of work, right? All the stress Sean goes through to deliver for the fans.
That's what kind of guy X-Pac is. And another story is when I was a kid, I think I was 15 or 16 years old, there were two big wrestling companies, WCW and the WWF. And do you know what WCW is? Have you heard of that?
Yeah, you've seen several matches there.
I think X-Pac, I think.
No, yeah.
He was there for a little bit, yeah. But so they used to have contests every week on their show called Nitro Parties. And so they would have they would have fans film their watching Nitro parties. So like you'd invite all your friends over the house and film a video of everybody having a party watching the matches together. And so we did one of those, and we all dressed up as our favorite wrestlers, and I dressed up as Conan. And, 10 years later, I ended up being friends with him, and we've been working together for 10 years. And it's just kind of cool that one of your favorite wrestlers when you were a kid and you dressed up as ends up being your good buddy now.
That's very cool.
And now he heard about the Sharpshooter podcast, and so Conan wants to come on with you sometime.
Wow, what do you think about that, Ollie? Let's do it, huh?
Uh-huh.
Let's do it.
Conan does kind of what your dad does now because he's retired. He can't wrestle anymore. So he comes up with who's going to fight who for 3 different companies. He works for MLW, which is where King Mo is wrestling now. He works for AAA in Mexico, which is the biggest company in Mexico, like WWE of Mexico. And he works for Impact Wrestling. So he stays really busy because he loves wrestling and he understands what the people want to see. And so he makes up really good matches for everybody.
Do you want to do that one day, Ollie? Possibly? Or do you want to be a wrestler?
I don't know.
You don't know yet?
The most important thing if you want to be a wrestler or a fighter or anything else is make sure you get really good grades so that you learn the business really well and you can sign a good contract and make lots of money doing it.
Right, Ollie?
Yeah.
Is that some good advice? Well, hey, let's thank Mr. Sean. He's a very busy man. Oh, you want to ask him another question?
You can ask me whatever you want, Ollie.
Go ahead.
Do you like Pokemon?
I don't know anything about Pokemon, so I can't really say I don't like it or I like it because I just have never been exposed to it. I don't know anything about it other than the main guy's named Pikachu. That's all I know about Pokemon.
And Squirtle?
I don't know what you.
He doesn't know. We'll have to,
Can I show these?
Heck yeah, show me what you got.
all right.
I got Mew,
Okay. Mew. Uh-huh.
Alakazam.
Nice. That one's kind of shiny. That must be a better one.
No, it's not a shiny card.
Oh, it's not? Okay.
This, I don't know who this one is. Wait, who's this?
It looks like Xerneas.
No, its name is right here.
Yeah, Xerneas. Yeah, go ahead, show him, Mr. Sean.
Nice.
Xerneas.
Let me see. Gardevoir. Gardevoir.
Oh, no, wait.
That guy sounds kind of like somebody I wouldn't want to run into in a dark alley.
Yeah.
Mega Gardevoir.
Uh-huh,
Max shiny card.
that's cool.
He's pretty proud of these. I guess he just won them all at Lego camp, so he had to show you his bounty.
Right on. That's part of my job is people showing me their collectibles.
I actually should have brought Eevee too.
Yeah, well, next time. So Ollie, let's thank Mr. Sean for his time today and coming to hang with us on the Sharpshooter, huh?
Thanks for spending your time with me.
Anytime you want me to come on with you, you call me, okay? Anytime. I mean that.
Okay.
Deal.
If one of your guests has an emergency and can't come, you call me last minute and I'll do it, okay?
Awesome.
Bye. See
Bye.
you on the Sharpshooter.
Thanks. See ya.
Thanks,
Bye.
Sean.
Got it.
Bye, buddy.
You can't see me. That's funny.